Hey, what's up, everybody? Fred Minnick here. Today I got a special treat. I'm tasting the limited edition series, the Cask Drink series from Angel's Envy. They do this every year. Of course, Angel's is a very important brand, but you know they've got this little media kit box that they sent me. I've got the Cask Drink Bourbon, and then I've got the Cask Drink Rye, and then I have snacks inspired by Owen's journey to Angel's Envy. Of course, Owen is the new master distiller, and they got some Twizzlers in here, or no, that's not Twizzlers. These look like dehydrated bull penises. Look at that. How do I know what a dehydrated bull penis looks like? Well, I'm an ag boy. Just go with it. All right, now it's he's got some caramels, very nice, and we got these look like some kind of fat cookie, like a lemon cookie bar thing. And then apparently this is old because this one has mold on it. Oh, that's not mold. Is that mold? I don't know. I can't tell. Is that mold? Yeah. Oh well. And I just flicked it on my computer. Damn it. I'm already having computer problems. Don't need to be flicking crusties on my thing. And then, of course, got this nice little book here. So, nice little... Is this a wallet? They sent me a wallet. I don't need a wallet. Actually, I do need a wallet, but I'm not going to break it out. Okay, so let's take a look here at what we got. Or better yet, I can just pull up the press release instead of trying to read the tiny writing here. Hold on. All right, so I got the press release pulled up here, and this is the first time they released a Cask Strength Rye. Finished in sauternes and toasted oak. And the bourbon is finished in the regular old port wine barrels. This gets released in December 1st. It will be taken out nationally. It looks like the rye has a pretty limited release of 5,500 bottles. And the regular Cask Strength bourbon will have 22,656. The proof on these, the rye, is 116.2. Wait, that's the bourbon. 116.2 on the bourbon and 114.4 on the rye. Now, that's a little bit of the details. The price on it is usually this is $269 and $229. But let's face it, these are two products that you will not find at SRP. Most likely, you're gonna find them for much less or much more. Now, this once again is the fancy advent that we have here on the Fred Minnick Show. A box, the technology here. We have advanced technology to now where you can see what I'm tasting as I am tasting it. But I want to give you a little bit. This is that part of when I do reviews. You know, fast forward. There's going to be a call out to the timestamp of when I start getting into the tasting. But I'm going to get into a little history for you right now. So if you want to get past, don't want to see the history, just go to the tasting stamp in the description or the comments. So a little bit about Angel's Envy. Angel's Envy is an incredibly important brand in the new age of American whiskey. They were the first mainstay barrel finish brand on the market. Now, what I mean by that is barrel finishes, of course, everyone's doing them now, but when Angel's Envy came out, nobody was doing it on a regular basis. It was kind of like a limited edition thing or like a one-off. People would experiment with it, but nobody was ever saying, like, hey, you know what? let's start us a port barrel finish program because that's what American whiskey drinkers want. You still basically had the wave of traditional Kentucky bourbon drinkers dominating the conversation here, and it was a big risk for them to do this, huge risk, I'd say. But Master Distiller Lincoln Henderson was behind it, and he's in the Bourbon Hall of Fame for a reason. One of the most important people in the new age of bourbon. He was the founding master distiller for Woodford Reserve, and that's an iconic brand, has become an iconic brand, but when it came out in 96, it needed like a really strong figurehead behind it, and that was Lincoln. So this was Angel's Envy is such an important brand in the growth of understanding and appreciating American whiskey. Now, I am always going to say that barrel finishes are really weird for me because I like them, how they taste. I don't like the labeling behind them. Now, when they get approved by the federal government for label approval, they get approved under distilled spirit specialty. So they're not actually classified within our own federal guidelines as a bourbon or a rye. The box is checked to be a distilled spirit specialty or spirit specialty, and that's because there's a formula that goes with it, and it's not just straight bourbon. So I've always contended that if you take, the process of making this is possibly damaging to the geographical recognition and protection of bourbon. So bourbon can't be made anywhere else than the United States. People agree to that in the free trade agreements. But, if you look at these labels, it says bourbon right smack dab there in on the top. If this thing would focus on it, just trust me, it says bourbon there. It's not focusing for you, but it says bourbon. You don't have to go very far to see bourbon on a finished label. I've always contended that, one day another country is going to say you don't respect your own rules and definitions of what is bourbon, so we're just doing barrel finishes out here just like you all. So what's wrong with that? That's where I come from. Anyway, I've got a lot of rants over this on Bourbon Pursuit over the years. I've written about it. I've talked about it a lot here on this channel. I know I'm beating a dead horse. I know I'm the minority, the outside looking in of this conversation. The debate's over. Barrel finishes are here to stay. I just hope one day the federal government cleans it up and gives a proper definition for it. And so, all that being said, if it wasn't for Angel's Envy, and I love Angel's Envy, I love the people behind the brand. The Hendersons are really good friends of mine, although they're no longer there for the most part. I still wish the labeling was different. That being said, here, 8 minutes and 5 seconds later, let me taste. Okay, smells like plum. And this is the bourbon one here. So I'm tasting the one that says bourbon. This is a port finish. Okay, it smells like plum. Prune juice. And butter. Like actual real butter, like in a frying pan. Like a cast iron skillet. Yeah. Kind of all over the place. Kind of a blackberry jammy. Blackberry jam. I would say I'm going to stay with this prune thing. Like I smell like a prune there, and it tastes like prune juice. Now, that's not a note that I really associate with whiskey. I associate that more with like nursing homes and like people needing to, drink prune juice on the regular for another reason. So my mind just went there, and I kind of wish I didn't go there, but I did go there, and now I can't get it out of my head of being in a nursing home and people eating prunes and drinking prune juice. I mean, it's not bad. It's just that my mind is like, I have issues. I have real issues. All right, let me see if I can get something else here besides nursing home prune juice. swear to God, this is like so prune forward. If I can just get it out of my head, I like prunes. I mean, prunes are like, they show up every now and then in like a hotel, morning breakfast buffet, and I'll eat them. Never had an issue with prunes. When I was in the military, we drank prune juice. I think that was to counter the MREs, though, now that I think about it. Yeah, going back to the nursing home thing. There is a good deal of pepper in here as well. It's got some mint to it. I rather like it, even though I'm going off on this weird prune juice thing. I don't know if it's top 100 material because it's not exciting me enough to that level of being like, oh my God. But also, I think it's fair to say that I've turned this into an absurd tasting with the whole prune juice thing. So I'm gonna rinse my palate out and go to the rye. Lastly, the finish is pretty significant. That finish is really nice. It's a nice long finish. So that reason alone, it probably will eke itself into my top 100, which I am finalizing right now. I'm trying. I just created a new shelf space, to put my bottles, to get everything going, to get things moving. I've got a spreadsheet that we're filling out. I'm going through all my old tastings. I'm tasting at a very rapid rate, reconfirming things. I had one that I thought was going to be in, then I kicked it out because I was like, it's just not there. And I've even got a little bit of a scoring system going. So I'm hustling right now. I don't know if I'm going to meet my November 15th deadline just because we had to take some time out for one of our kids got sick and had to go to the doctor for an extended period, and it took me off my game for a little bit. And anyone who has kids, one of those little kids gets sick and it's like it stops you in your tracks. You can't do anything. It's tough. All right, here's the rye. Please don't have prune juice. 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 Okay. Angel's Envy Ryes have always been too sweet for me. I've never been a big fan of them because I feel like the barrels are probably like super wet or whatever, and they don't feel like rye or taste like rye to me. They taste like candied syrup, and I just know from the nose, like right away, this does not smell like a candied syrup. This actually smells like a bona fide rye. God damn, I like the way this smells. Oh, wow. Wow. I know this is a finish. A toasted barrel and a Sauternes barrel, if my memory serves, on the press release. I'm not going to go back in. If I'm wrong, I'll put it in the comments or something. But this is the kind of finish that I have been waiting for in a rye, where there are little accents of nuance from the additional barrel, but the barrels are not oversaturating. Like, I don't know what it is about rye, but rye is it can be overpowered by secondary barrels, or the rye can just, overpower the secondary barrel. This has found that special balance where there's a touch of sweetness here, but it's not overpowering. There's also like this like sweet oak note, but I don't like over oak. This has that really nice touch of oak. It's not overpowering. But what I'll tell you is the essence of rye the kind of like black licorice, some of the herb notes, like a big old like thick, juicy, what was it, like a rye bread, like a rye bread with the seeds in it, like sunflower seeds, like it has like a nuttiness to it. I'm just going back and forth between the two, and when I smell the Angel's Rye, like I don't know if I'd necessarily know it would be a barrel finish. And that's what I want to see out of a barrel finish. Just accents of flavor come in, not overpowering. This is fantastic. This is definitely one of the best ryes I have had all year, and you can guarantee it'll be on my top 100. The other one, not so sure. Now the finish on this Angel's Envy Cask Strength Rye, it's still going. It is still going, and it ain't stopping. Like, it is boom, 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 boom. Just fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So, yeah. How do you like that? How do you like that? There you go. So that's my breakdown of the two Angel's Envy Cask Strength products released this year. They roll out December 1st. If that's your jam, if what I said here does it for you, go check them out. But even still, you should taste for yourself. Don't just listen to me. But that's going to do it for this little old review. Come check us out over at Club Marzipan. That's my Patreon community. You can find more information about that in the description of this video. Now, over there, they are getting to see my top 100 unveil before anybody else, and they're seeing reviews that are exclusive to them. We also do barrel picks. I got Doc Swinson's coming up. Just did a Penelope 16-year-old. And we have a Jack Daniel's barrel proof that should drop any day now, even though I picked it like in January or something. I mean, it's like taking forever. But that's going to do it, y'all. Be safe out there. And remember, vodka sucks. It sucks unless it's being used to clean up the murder scene of a dead cat. No offense.